Hey, it's your boy the Crypto Goon, and shout out to all my crypto goons for pulling up once again. Banks want to take your crypto rewards to bail themselves out at the same time that Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high of over $125,000. Let's talk about it. So this is an article that is published in Yahoo Finance, and this is actually a movement that is being pushed by Coinbase. Banks want to remove your ability to earn rewards when holding stablecoins. Coinbase CEO calls on Americans to rally against big banks. Now, let's check out this article. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but there are several points here that you should definitely understand, especially for my people that have not read the Genius Act. Hypocrisy from banks is causing problems for crypto again. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said Monday on X. Banks want to remove your ability. Real quick, before we get to the rest of the video, I want to introduce you all to Grape, which is the first Web3 infrastructure for a decentralized internet. Grape has two proprietary technologies, Vine and and they will improve the adoption of Web3 and push it to the next level of Web 4. Vine formulates the transaction tree without hitting linear limitations or bottlenecks, and is an AI interface that improves the interaction with each of Grape's services. The primary goal of Grape is to create a fully decentralized infrastructure. Grape's platform allows the launch of any Web3 decentralized applications. Now here is the CEO going into further detail about how great Grape is.
All right, guys, I am here to talk about Grape Coin, or GRP. There are 5 reasons why I believe Grape will be a top 20 coin within 6 months. Number 1, Grape is the most powerful chain ever created. Every single user node adds 1,000 transactions per second, so it is infinitely sustainable with 100 million, 200 million, even 500 million transactions per second within possibility. Why is that a big deal? Number 2, it is a big deal because Grape's chain's main use case is powering a completely decentralized internet economy, essentially running a mass adoption Web3 by having a chain powerful enough to allow the most complex and crazy real-world games and applications to go on-chain. This is Web 4 in a big way. Number 3, there are 2 big announcements coming. One of them is a partnership with an AI company, and this partnership will allow apps to be created in seconds on Grape Chain with only a few prompts. That's huge because no one has ever done it before, but also because it can lead to thousands of applications being created on Grape Chain within even the first week. Okay, so the second announcement is literally them working with a country, and in my opinion, it is unparalleled. Number 4, GRP has half the circulating supply of Bitcoin, so its supply is tiny. And number 5, it is about to be relaunched. And you might say, like, why is a relaunch massive? Well, if you've seen other coin relaunches like Matic to Polygon, it surged 7,000%. And that's because it's taking something proven that we've seen the market with before and fixing the issues that it had and then relaunching into something better. GRP was trading at almost $1,000 a coin without any of the functionality that it has and without any of the announcements that it has. Right now you can buy it cheaper than $3 before the relaunch, which is currently at its lowest price. And that is why I believe Grape will lead the market next year.
Now, I really believe in this project, and right now they are running a limited time event with a 66% bonus on every purchase. The bonus percentage drops daily, so the sooner you get in, the better. Now back to the rest of the video. Ability to earn rewards when holding stablecoins. Armstrong was referring to lobbying efforts from several banking organizations against stablecoin rewards offered by cryptocurrency company. Now, if anybody that's new here, the stablecoin rewards, where, like, for example, you earn a certain percentage, whether that's through staking or just keeping your money on the platform just for having, money sitting in the stablecoin. Okay, it's almost like interest. It's almost like having a CD at a bank. Very similar, but it pays a lot more than most banks. This is why that issue is partly because of jealousy. Now, the American Bankers Association and several banking groups in an August joint letter described stablecoin reward programs as an invasion of the Genius Act. The stablecoin legislation signed into law by President Donald Trump in July prohibited stablecoin issuers from paying interest to users, but said nothing about cryptocurrency firms like exchanges. It's a loophole. The ABA and the banking group said this is a loophole that lawmakers should close with the anticipated cryptocurrency market structure bill. The group said allowing cryptocurrency companies to continue offering stablecoin rewards could lead to a flight of bank deposits, which could impact the ability of banks to provide lending services. They cited an April Treasury Department report that suggested stablecoin interest payments could result in 6.6 trillion in deposit outflows. According to Armstrong, however, banks are unfairly seeking to squash competition to the detriment of U.S. consumers. Competition is good for consumers, he said on Monday. They're just mad they're losing. Big banks don't need another bailout. They need better products. Facts. Armstrong and Coinbase are taking the flight to Capitol Hill later on Monday. Armstrong shared a video of himself at the Capitol, noting that he was speaking to senators to side against the banks. He also called on members of the cryptocurrency community to do the same thing, sharing a website named No More Bailouts for them to contact their senators. We're making sure the Senate knows bailing out the big banks at the expense of the American consumer is not okay. So essentially, they don't want money to leave the bank and go into Coinbase, right? So the stablecoin issuer, let's just say, for example, Tether, cannot, themselves, they cannot pay out the rewards. However, the exchanges, because of this loophole, they can pay out rewards, right? So essentially, they don't want a run on the banks. That's what it is. Let's just call it what it is. Now, Coinbase has, if you log into your Coinbase, they have been pushing this standwithcrypto.org website, so you can actually sign a petition. So when you bring it up, it brings up, so this is my state's senators, right? So you can email your senators. They have something already pre-typed that you can send. And it tells you if your senators are against or for crypto. So Chris Van Hollen is one, and I'm in the state of Maryland. So Chris Van Hollen, he's very anti-crypto, but we also have Angela also Brooks is very pro-crypto. I actually have met Chris. Chris has actually helped me with a few things. So I'm actually, I haven't had a chance to talk to him. He probably won't listen to me. But again, it really all depends on the lobbying, right? Like it's all about the money when it comes to, senators and congressmen and women, right? Now, something else to check out, they actually have a website. If you care about crypto, it's time to prove it. 52 million Americans own crypto, and yet crypto's future in America remains uncertain. Congress is writing the rules as we speak, but they won't vote yes until they've heard from you. Okay, this is for all my folks in the U.S. now. All right. So on to Bitcoin, $125,521. This just happened within like the past hour. We went from like 124 to 125. So we've reached a new all-time high, and as you can see, the market cap is expanding. It is currently at 5.2 trillion, or sorry, 5.29 trillion. And again, this is the highest that it's ever been. And we talked about this in the past, right? The reason or why and how this thing is expanding. Again, the strategy is, according to Russia, some people say it's propaganda, Russian propaganda. But if you actually read the Genius Act, they are moving the United States debt into the crypto cloud. Okay, so we could see a lot of these altcoins, in addition to Bitcoin, going crazy because they want to move the debt from here to this invisible cloud, therefore clearing the United States of their debt in the real world. Okay, so that's the reason why you have the crypto cloud, and you have the actual original financial system, the dollar, the yen, the original currencies, right? So we're going to see the expansion of these market caps. And of course, the top cryptocurrencies will most likely see the rise, right? So if you've been paying attention with all the ETFs, right? So, you have your Solanas, your Ethereums, your XRP, right? The majority of the top, I would say 20 or so will probably start to get lumped into ETFs. There's an H-bar one that's coming, right? So you know the Doge ETF, right? So the top ones are getting ETFs, and then you also have these large institutions that hold like 401ks and Roth IRAs. They are starting to come online and say, okay, well, we're going to start giving our clients the option to get exposure to cryptocurrencies. And in addition to that, you're also starting to have the financial advisor. I'm not sure what the people that regulate and license financial advisors, they're starting to come along, because like my financial advisor, which I do have one, he's not allowed to give people advice on cryptocurrency, but they're starting to loosen that, right? So all of this is really just one big play to force, or open up the doors to push people in it, so that way they can use or they can use cryptocurrency to pay off the national debt. So you got to be smart in the market, take your profits, because I do think in the future that a lot of this will come crashing down, okay? Because the United States is going to rug pull a lot of this to pay off that debt, okay? If you read the Genius Acts, when you have stable coins, they are using stable coins to purchase the national debt, right? And that's actually in the bill, right? And with these ETFs, right, when you put money into an ETF or a crypto ETF, will half or a certain percentage of that money goes to purchasing United States debt. Okay, so they're moving it from the original financial system into the crypto cloud. Okay, and in order for this to be done successfully, somebody is going to have to get burned, and it hopefully is not you. Again, take profits, remove your money. Okay, but again, this is not financial advice, and I appreciate you all tapping in. Let me know what you all think about the banks being scared of everybody running with their money into the cloud. Again, it's the Crypto Goon, the number one, never the two. Shout out to all my goons. Crypto Goon, out.